I'm BurningDogFace, and I'd like to welcome you to the credits video for Let's Play Batman Arkham Origins. Feels good, man. Eight assassins, various assorted supervillains. Merry Christmas, Gotham City.
I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another crime before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so now you make me pay for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know how much it hurts to never see you smile. You know you need and want to laugh, yet you claim it's not your style. Why do you hide behind that mask? I'm trying to do my part. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me. But now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. You won't admit that we're the same, and it's tearing me apart! Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
Wow. I mean, that...
Our next guest, political strategist Dean Snyder, has been following tonight's events since the start, more than 8 hours ago. Dr. Snyder, let's start with you. What's your view?
Well, Jack, it's a travesty. The ultimate failing of the justice system. A vigilante cleaning up our streets after countless deaths and bombings? What has happened to our police force? And what about James Gordon? He didn't exactly prove himself tonight.
Hold on a minute, Dean. Now, I'm no defender of the GCPD or Captain Gordon for that matter. Like you said, tonight's debacle is some reflection of his efficacy, but I can't see any police force in any municipality doing a substantially better job against criminals like this Joker character or any of the hired killers he's brought into town. I mean, these guys are a different breed. We've never seen anything like this. So for me, it's less a reflection on Gotham's cops and more of a reflection on the state of our country. A country where our mental health and education systems are so warped and broken that we produce criminals of this nature.
You raise an interesting point, Hank, but what I'm wondering is what we'll do next.
No, it's not an interesting point. It's just plain wrong. They're both wrong. This isn't about the police or the Batman. It isn't about the state of our nation somehow churning out a dangerous new batch of the criminally deranged. It's about the failing of one single institution. An institution which, in my view, represents represents the biggest threat to Gotham and its citizens. A time bomb, just waiting to go off. If tonight's events have taught us anything, it's that Blackgate is not the place to be housing our city's most dangerous offenders. Not one, but 2 prison breaks in the same night. All of tonight's tragedies would have been avoided if Gotham had a proper treatment facility for its top echelon offenders. A place with impenetrable security, where the most dangerous could be isolated, rehabilitated, and treated for their illness. A place like Arkham Asylum. And after what happened tonight, I promise the good people of Gotham that I will work tirelessly. I will lobby the city council, go to the governor if I have to, do everything in my power to get Arkham Asylum reopened, so we can all sleep a little easier.
There you have it. Quincy Sharp placing the blame for tonight's events not on the Batman, not on the Joker, but on Blackgate Prison, and pledging to return Arkham Asylum to full operations. We'll be back with more from Mr. Sharp and our other guests when the Jack Ryder Hour continues after this message.
For anyone not familiar with Batman Arkham Asylum or Batman Arkham City, Quincy Sharp was a major character in the first game, a supporting character in the second game. He started out as the warden of Arkham Asylum. Baby lad. And he, in the intervening time between Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, he was elected mayor of Gotham City. Should have known they'd work a cameo for him in. Yeah, that little musical number by the Joker. It wasn't quite as creepy as the post-mortem rendition of Only You from the Arkham City credits. God damn, if it wasn't close. Alright, usually give an assessment on the credit videos, and you know what? Yes. If you're interested in this style of game, you know, the sort of 3D Metroidvania thing, play Batman Arkham Origins. You know, if you really liked Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, but passed on this one, I would recommend you play this. You know, the negative reviews all harped on the point that it doesn't iterate very much on the games that came before it. And they're not wrong. You know, for the most part, this was just the best parts of Arkham City, given, you know, a new coat of paint and some new context. So instead of smashing cameras, you're smashing Enigma's server relays. And instead of blowing up canisters of Titan, you're blowing up canisters of Black Mask's drugs. But, in this particular case, I mean, I know there's an argument to be said about the lack of creativity in the gaming industry, that everyone just keeps churning out sequels. But in this particular case, I say don't fix what isn't broken. You know, I remind you, this is only the third one of these games that's ever been made. You know, if, as I sort of fear, they use this alternate studio to do the Call of Duty thing and make a Batman game every single year, then there would be cause for, you know, hesitancy and questioning the quality of the product. But this first time, the Batman experience is still good enough. You know, it's still a fantastic gaming experience that I don't have a problem wholeheartedly recommending this game. And the stuff that is new was for the most part great. I really enjoyed the crime scene reconstruction. I'd like to see them do more with that. Throw in a whole bunch of clues at once, and all of them except one are just dead ends. So you have to actually work your way around a crime scene and piece things together yourself, instead of just, okay, here's the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I mean, it was still fun, even though it was heavily scripted, but I'd like to see them do more with that. Not all of the gadgets were that great. I felt that the remote Batclaw was kind of redundant. It didn't fill a purpose. Let me put it this way: it didn't fill a hole that the game had in it. They invented those dual points that you could put a tightrope between, and it had those very specific things you could do to henchmen with it. I have to admit, it was pretty cool being able to string a guy up from all the way across the room. But, I don't know, it just didn't feel distinctive enough. In my mind. I've made my thoughts on the, what's it called? The glue grenade, well known. And while I wish they hadn't made it, completely identical to the freeze grenades, I understand them wanting to bring back that extremely versatile device, so I'm not really going to hold it that hard against them. It's still just really awkward. I believe I mentioned at one point that I'd like to see this studio stand out a little bit more. Maybe make their next game about the Green Arrow, since he's basically Batman with a different theme. So that instead of feeling like the Batman B team, it's like, hey, these are the only guys doing a Green Arrow game right now. But, for what it's worth, I think they made an excellent game. I think it stands right up there with Asylum and City. Again, I would have preferred a sequel to Arkham City, but for what they made for the prequel, they did a really good job on it. I really enjoyed the sense of setting you got with Batman against the police force, and the criminals aren't sure whether or not he even exists. I thought Roger Craig Smith did a great job playing Batman. Was it Troy Baker who played the Joker? He did a good job too. I actually really liked all of the character designs in this game. Like I said, I liked Bane's original appearance better than the way he looked in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that if he ever appears in one of these Arkham games again, he'll be smaller again. I don't know, maybe because he doesn't have access to the Titan anymore. Actually, yeah. When you first find Bane in Arkham Asylum, he's this shriveled, emaciated little thing. Until, I think it was Harley Quinn triggered the Titan to flow into his body and it just ballooned out. So yeah, either way. I really liked the way that they redesigned all of the characters who reappeared from previous games. Like, I don't think there was a single one who looked just like he did in Arkham City or Arkham Asylum. I can think of 3 or 4 characters in Arkham City who just reused their models from Arkham Asylum. And knowing that, that's kind of impressive. Like, I think they actually improved on Deadshot. It was a much more interesting encounter than just, red light, green light sneaking up on him. Yes, goes without saying, I am very interested in the chronological sequel to Batman Arkham City, the next game, which I believe the rumors say should be coming out at the end of this year or early next year. Oh yes, that's right. That'll be on next-gen consoles, which I do not have access to. Well, maybe I'll get lucky and the PC requirements won't be too insane. I'll be able to LP it with you guys. I'm gonna take a drink. My throat is all dry. This isn't doing the Crisis thing where the game is, the credits are looping, is it? The story isn't quite over either. They have already released one DLC chapter called Initiation, which is a prequel to the prequel featuring Bruce Wayne during his ninja training. So I'll be looking at that. And that's for definite sure. And they've already, released a little teaser for a second single-player-based DLC chapter. I mentioned that briefly at one point, where the image shows the inside of a building with a bunch of ice on the walls. So the popular theory is that it's going to be about Mr. Freeze. Although I did find someone noting that right at the beginning of the game, Batman releases... not Batman, fucking Batman. Black Mask, who is, of course, the Joker, releases Calendar Man from Death Row. Literally sitting in the gas chamber. And basically just lets him go. And I was pretty certain that by the end of the game, it's Calendar Man, and the game takes place on Christmas Eve, that I would have to deal with him. No mention of him whatsoever. So hey, maybe they could do something with that too. I got the impression, by the way, that all this stuff that they've been sprinkling throughout the game about how Arkham Asylum was closed and they're going to reopen it because of they're inspired by the events of tonight. It actually felt to me like not so much setting up the story of the following games, the way that a lot of the rest of the game was, as it was trying to come up with an excuse for the name Batman Arkham Origins, which I still think is a pretty crappy subtitle, all things considered. I mean, granted, I don't know what I would have called this. Hell, maybe I would have just called it, you know, Batman, or Origins. No, I guess that would imply the Batman Begins style story. Maybe Batman Christmas Night with a K. I thought that was interesting. The game takes place on Christmas, but it wasn't a Christmas story, you know? It wasn't about someone learning the true meaning of Christmas, or having their faith in humanity restored, unless you count Gordon. It just happened to take place on Christmas. And, you know, that seemed perfectly fine to me, because I deliberately delayed playing it until December to start. But then I remember the game came out in late October, like right before Halloween 2013. When I was playing Doom 3. Oh, that's right, it came out right in between Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Doom 3 BFG Edition. Where I was tempted to just say screw the rules and play it. Like I said, what kind of person would I be if I played a Batman game and broke my one rule? Oh, I really hope I haven't missed some sign that this is just endlessly repeating. Because my eyes have been kind of unfocused for most of this time, just staring off into space while I gather my thoughts. It's my word, this has been going for a while now. Yes, I forgot to ask. So I'm definitely going to be playing Initiation, because I already have it. You know, why not? But I'm led to believe that it isn't very long, so it probably won't last. You know, it almost certainly won't last until they release, well, whatever the second DLC chapter is called. So if I play, you know, even if I go on to play something else, would you guys like to see me return to Arkham Origins in order to play the next DLC chapter? Like, I wouldn't stop in the middle of another game to do it, but, Imagination Abu Dhabi? Like, I'll do a couple games or so, and then I'll do the next DLC chapter or something like that. Because I'd be interested in playing it if you guys are interested in seeing it. Like, one of the regrets I have in my LPN career is that I forgot to ever go back to Darksiders 2 for the DLC chapters, even the one I already had. I mean, I suppose I could still do it, but it's been so long since I played Darksiders that there would be a really noticeable drop in my skills between the end of the main playlist and the beginning of the DLC. There's another question. Did you guys interested in seeing me go back to that? Oh, that's no fun. They're not going to list the characters? Ooh. I thought I heard Robin Atkin Downs at some point. That's, Sean Devlin to you and me. Josh Keaton, why do I know that name? Was that the guy who played Terry on Batman Beyond? Nolan North, everyone's friend. I didn't think there were that many female characters in a game for CCH Pounder to show up. I'm thinking of the right person, aren't I? Maybe CCH Pounder is a dude, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess that Armando Valdez Kennedy played Bane. Wow, that's a lot of people just for motion capture. These are the guys. This is motion capture talent. These are the people in the suits, not the the engineers working on it. It has to be the engineers working on it. Look at all these names. Frank Scorpion, dude, that guy rolled a 20 on the name talent. Name talent, name awesomeness, whatever. Don't remember that. I'm gonna guess that was the music playing in the My Alibi strip club. I really enjoyed this game. You know, I have to admit to myself, if I hadn't been recording myself, I probably would have enjoyed it more, because I would have had time, I would have been able to just try a Enigma puzzle 50 times in a row in order to try and work it out, instead of trying to remain entertaining for the videos, that kind of thing. I'm not crazy about all the bugs that were in the game, but I really enjoyed myself here, and I'm glad I could share this experience with you. I mean, hey, I had to start over to fix that stupid, false objective right at the beginning. I found an outside solution to the problem with most of Burnsley being intangible. And even that ridiculous bit where the puzzle in Blackgate kind of fucked up didn't break the game. So I'd say for the most part I got off lucky. Special thanks to Poll to Win International. I'm gonna keep sitting here. It only feels right to show the credits in their entirety after I, played through these guys' entire game on on the internet. Registered? Okay, registered in the United States Patent and Trademark Office. I thought that was a separate line. Office and May. And is there some kind of stinger after the credits, or was that what the voiceover was for? Congratulations! New Game Plus unlocked. Take on the story mode again, but this time armed with all the upgrades you have already earned. However, you're going to need them, as this is a much harder challenge, with no counter icons, tough new enemy configurations, and faster, better armed enemies right from the start. Important, New Game Plus is a separate mode accessed in the main menu and does not affect the progress of your original game. XP, upgrades, and collectibles are shared between both modes. Congratulations, alternative Batman outfits! Any downloaded alternative Batman outfits can now be worn in the main story mode and New Game Plus. Choose your alternative outfit after continuing your game for the main menu. Well, there is one.
Figured you'd be by sooner or later.
Suicide Squad. Oh god, CCH Pounder as Amanda Waller.
And what happens if I don't sign?
You rot in here, or you work for me?
It's been a long night, Alfred. Why don't you turn in?
Wouldn't dream of it, not until you're back safe and sound.
Well, if you're sure you're up for it, I've got a few loose ends to tie up out here, and I could use your help.
You can count on it. And when you get home, we can finally have that Christmas dinner I've been keeping warm for you for our breakfast.
Dispatch, do you copy?
Go ahead.
Got a body down here. Mid-30s, no ID, no witnesses. Injuries are consistent with repeated blunt force trauma. Requesting a homicide team on site.
Copy that. We'll send you our first available.
The Batman's work is never done. I'm BurningDogFace, and I'd like to thank you for joining me for Let's Play Batman: Arkham Origins. Tune in next time as we begin the Initiation DLC chapter, and take a look at Bruce Wayne before he put this crazy suit on. I'll see you then. Later!